Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Christina and this is The Beauty Rookie. Thanks so much for joining me again. Today we are going to talk about the Natasha Denona Diamond and Blush Palette that I have right here. I showed it in my Beautylish unboxing for the Lucky Bag, and so many of you requested that I do an actual review on the palette and show you some swatches. So I thought that we would do that today. I've had some time to play with it, so I have thoughts all around in general. I'll try to keep this as short as possible. I'm not huge on first impressions, so I'm probably going to try not to have too many reviews on this channel that are based off of first impressions. Sometimes those things can be accurate. I usually have a pretty good idea of if I'm going to like a foundation on first impression, but so many things change, right? Like the primer and how you set it and time you wear it. So that's not really fair to do that. And same thing with eyeshadows. Sometimes, first impressions are very accurate with eyeshadow, but when it comes to something like this where it's a multi-use palette, well, not really a multi-use palette, but something like this that has so many different textures and shades in it, you want to give it a little bit of time. You want to see how each individual shade works by itself and how it works layered on top of each other. So that's what I'm here to talk about today. And I'm going to apply it on camera for you. That's why I don't have any blush or highlight on today. I just have everything else on. So first things first, the palette, which is this one, and I wanted to show you, because I'm also wearing it today, but I wanted to show you for size comparison how they are exactly the same. This is her Sculpt palette, and this is the blush palette. As you can see, they're the same size. I like that. I like when things are equal and even, and I just enjoy that. Same thing with the contour palette. When you open it up, it's got, like that, it's got 3 creams and 3 powders, although this down here is not a cream actually. It's a very densely packed powder. It's not going to get on anything. It's almost like a hybrid of a cream and powder, but I still feel like it's a powder. The palette itself retails for $89. You can get it at Beautylish, which is what I did. But what is different about this palette is not only that it has different textures, but there's different finishes. So you can go for a natural, everyday, glowy look, or you can just shine to the gods if you want to. There's a little bit of everything. There is one that's a little bit confusing to me, and I will go into that in a minute. Just like Natasha designed the Sculpt palette, she designed this to be able to be layered. So they are layerable formulas. What you really want to do is you want to set down your cream and then set it with the powder, and that's going to give you the most glow. Obviously, you can customize it yourself and use the shades that you like versus all of them. You don't have to do that, but I do think that for length of time and wear time, it's better to put in a cream and then a powder, which is how I use the sculpting palette as well. I do think that it gives you a more subtle look if you use a sponge versus a brush on the cream products, but you can build up, and I think the finish is beautiful. It can look very natural. I have gotten comments on my glowy skin, and I'm like, it is not my skin. I do not have perfect skin. It doesn't emphasize texture in some way. There is one shade that does, but it's the nature of it because it's very glittery. I will say that my favorite highlight in here, if it's not blended out or buffed in, it can look sparkly and shimmery, and I know that's not for everybody. So, it is what it is. Let's go ahead and swatch some of these shades. These are them. I'm going to start with the creams. The Glow Cream Base, I believe, is already something in her arsenal and everybody loves it. It's just a little bit more amped up here. It's a pale gold shade. Definitely runs warm. If you don't like warm highlights, you probably won't love this, but it can be so natural that you won't even notice. Then the cream blush, and then the Duo Glow. So there you go. This is the cream blush. This is the Pink Rose Duo Glow. And then this is the Cream Glow highlight. There you go. And I know that the blushes look really scary when you see the pictures on Instagram, but do not be scared. I know they look like fuchsia, but in person they're more of a coral tone. They're super flattering, but a little goes a very long way. You want to go careful because you will be blending all day. And they do blend beautifully, but you can look like a clown. Then the next 3 shades are the traditional powder formulas. You're going to have the diamond powder, which this is the one that while it's beautiful and silky and it just feels amazing, it's not, I don't like it on my cheeks. I'm not going to put it on my cheeks. That's the only shade for me that I don't love, but you might love that. We're not going to put it on today though. The next one is the traditional powder blush, and then the Glow Extreme, which is my favorite, and those are them right there. There you go. So yeah, those are all the shades, different finishes, and kind of overview on what the palette is. So let's go into the application so I can show you how these go on the skin. I do have somewhere to go, so I might not go as glowy as you might want me to, but I'll still show you how well they layer, okay? So the first thing we're gonna do is I'm going to apply the cream base, and I'm gonna go in with the Glow Cream. And I don't have any powders on today, but I am gonna use the Real Technique sponge. It's what I used to do my makeup today. And I'm just gonna go into the Glow Cream, and I'm just going to tap on the high points of the cheek like that. And if you need more, just go for it. You can see that gives a very subtle look. Let me show you on the other side how it applies with just fingers, okay? So I'm just gonna warm it up on my fingers, and I'm going to just tap. I think this formula is beautiful if you know, are on the go. This is just pat, pat, pat on no makeup days. I think it's just stunning. And let's go ahead and put a little bit on the bridge of the nose and right there. And hey, let's put some up here. Just glow everywhere. So that's the just natural glow. And then we're gonna go in with the blush, and again, a light hand is crucial right here. We're gonna just tap in just that much. And I'm scared because I've messed up before, but you're just gonna put it right on the cheeks, on the apples of the cheek. And I like to do 2 at a time, like both at the same time. That way I'm not using all the product on one cheek. And I just blend away. And don't worry, once you actually apply the powder, that makes it a lot easier to blend out too. But if you just wanted to be like a natural flush, you can just go out like this, and I think it looks nice. I'm not going to apply the rose gold blush. It's beautiful, but it has a lot of impact, a lot of shine, and I actually have to go do some fingerprint stuff for the adoption. So I don't really want to scare anybody and like raise flags or whatever. I'm gonna go in with the powder blush, and I'm just going to take a Wet n Wild powder brush, and I'm gonna do one dip, tap it off, and just set that powder. As you can see, this is a very illuminating blush, but it is not, I don't know if you can tell, but it is not glittery at all. It is extremely beautiful on the skin, and you can go as bright as you want or as subtle as you want. I think this is a wonderful palette for every skin tone. Every shade is going to show up on you, maybe a little different with different undertones, but they are incredibly pigmented, incredibly buildable, and they're beautiful. So if you're on the fence about which one to get, I wouldn't be scared with either one. If you're a richer tone, you might prefer the other palette, but you could use this one. I really do think you could use this one. Then I'm going to go ahead and top it off with the Glow Extreme powder, and I'm just going to use this Wet n Wild brush because I like to sort of just blend it in and buff it with this little brush. I just really like this little brush for highlight and set my highlight. If you want to see how that looks with a fan brush, I'm just going to take the fan brush. I will tell you with the fan brush, while the glow is still there, as you can see, I do feel like I need to end up buffing in a little bit because the bigger chunks of glitter don't blend as well. And I think you can also use your fingers. This is just a very easy and usable palette in every way. So I'm going to go ahead and blend that in a little bit. And this would be my wearable, everyday, subtle, but not subtle kind of situation. So there it is, all applied, the powders over the creams, just so you can get an idea of how that applies and how it blends. Let's talk about, do I think it's worth it? As a makeup collector, yes, I do think it's worth it. I think it's a beautiful palette. I think the finishes are unique. The formula is unique. I don't have anything like it in my collection. I think the shades are flattering and usable and wearable, and I can take this from the most casual day to like going to the club. Not that I do that, but I can do all that with it. For the average makeup person that might just be starting and you're looking for a one do-it-all palette, if you want to splurge and treat yourself to a luxury item that performs beautifully, it'll make you feel happy and joyful when you open it, yes, I do. If you already have palettes that you enjoy and like, you don't mind reaching for different things, do I think you need this? I'm not sure. Because I don't think this one shade here is wearable enough for the everyday makeup lover, I would say that $89 for this palette is a little bit steep, and I don't think you need it. But that said, it is absolutely beautiful. And if you already have her sculpting palette, I highly think that you would love this. Together, they are kind of a power couple, and I really enjoy it. So overall, I do recommend it, but I'm never going to tell you that almost, $100 palette is like you have to have it, because there are dupes out there for you. If you want me to go over my favorite face palettes, I would love to do a series on what my favorite products are if you want to. And go check out my Instagram at The Beauty Rookie, because I did break down my favorites of 2017 if you are wondering. So anyways, that's it for me. I love it. I'm really glad I have it. I don't love it enough to have to buy the other one though. Like, I think I'm covered with this and I will be happy, but I am going to be reaching for it all the time and love it, and I will get use out of it. So let me know if you've tried it. Let me know if you like it. Did you like seeing how the products applied on camera? I'll try to do that more often. And yeah, just let me know how you're liking the channel and anything you want to see from me next up. So thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope you have a good day, and I'll see you on my next video. Bye.